Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams and Laura Gillette. For all your real estate needs, go to teamgillette.com. And H&R Block of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, and Kaiser. For more information on your tax preparation needs, call 541-928-6432. Here we go. Come on. Woo-hoo. It's Wednesday. Thank you for joining us for The Experience live with Russ and Scott. How's it going, Scott?
Yeah. Hey, it's a good day because you remembered your key to the office today.
There you go. I did. It is a good thing. I don't have to worry about getting in anymore and sliding in at the last minute. So what a blessing. The Gillette Home team are one of our sponsors is to us. They and H&R Block of Albany, Lebanon, Corvallis, and Kaiser are amazing, amazing people, and we're so thankful for them today. They allow us to be able to do this, right, Scott? Have fun.
I love it. They've been Gillette has been Laura Gillette has been a sponsor of the Experience from day one, and so we sure appreciate the support and love getting people hooked up because they do great work. They do really good work.
Yeah, they do. And that's what we're all about. You know, in the experience of life, we're about great people doing amazing things. And we're blessed. We're going to get to it a little bit here. Two amazing guests today. Mary and Alan are with us. So excited to bring them in. But before we do that, what's going on in your life, Scott?
Well, I just got back from the coast. So last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was over for a retreat with a number of guys from the Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind. So these are guys that are in the western half of the U.S. So Utah, Colorado, Washington, and Oregon. We all came together and did a little masterminding there at Depot Bay. Doesn't get much better.
Oh my goodness. I'm with you because as you know, I was just north of you with my beautiful wife on the coast. We both got to watch the tsunami advisory and the high waves on Saturday, and it was beautiful weather. It was beautiful, gorgeous, you know? So I always say my wife is blessed by God. People here in Oregon say, man, I don't like to go to the coast because it always rains. And I tell them, you know what? You need to go with me and my beautiful wife because I could probably count on one hand that in the 34 years we've been married, that it has actually rained and been bad weather at the coast, and we go all the time. So
Beautiful. Yeah. Hey, we've got a mastermind of our own coming up.
You're right.
Starting in February.
Yes, so excited about that. We have a bunch of things that are going to lead up to that, and I just want to give you a little snapshot because this is all about live streaming. And our mastermind is based around that. Whether you're a novice, whether you're a veteran, it is the place for you because it's a place where people come together, support, learn, grow. Because you know, you were made to grow. You were made to be better. And that's what this is all about. Leading up to that, we have some events coming up. They will magically appear in the comments as we're talking. But the first
That's
one,
right. So, yeah, and make sure you're following Russ and myself on LinkedIn, and reach out, and we'll be happy to spend some one-on-one time and just kind of find out where you're at and what channels might be good for you
yeah,
on live streaming.
right.
Obviously, we're here on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, I'm on Amazon. There's all kinds of channels out there, and
Oh, it's crazy.
you have customers everywhere just waiting for you. Just don't make them wait any longer, please.
Right. And I'm streaming live with Shri later this week on Instagram Live. So there's all kinds
There
of
you
cool
go.
things you can do. I just want to tell everybody that I have a how to monetize your live stream class coming up next week. It's amazing. Time, it's only an hour. All the information will appear in the comments today. And also, Scott and I have a special episode of the Experience Plus where we're going to have Russ Johns and Gabe Leal on next week, also talking about live streaming. And that will lead up to the mastermind, which starts in February, the first Wednesday of February at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That information will also appear in the comments. So get in touch with us. We'd love to talk to you about it.
Indeed.
So,
But hey, we've got guests.
that's right. We got to move on. Enough about all us and everything going on. We're having way too much fun. Hey, as we always love to do, we go ladies first here. And Mary's coming in to join us today. Mary Fane Brandt is here in the house. Come on, Mary.
There we go.
Good morning. How is everyone?
Outstanding.
That's right.
Well, having somebody here that makes Scott and I look good is always a good thing. So we brought you in first, Mary.
Again, keep them coming, gentlemen.
That's right.
I'll take it
There we
all
go.
today. It's a packed day, so I got to be positive and keep my energy levels up. It's literally when I look at my calendar, I'm done at there's like a break at 5.
Wow.
Well, there
So
you go. There you go. Pack it
crazy
in.
day.
You've got a friend in the back there with you.
Brittany. Yeah.
Brittany.
That's our
Yeah.
rescue kitten, Brittany. She has this adorable on-brand color. If you notice, it's the aqua blue.
Yes.
Because she has to be here right with me. She has separation anxiety. She follows me around the house like a dog. She fetches like a dog, and she has to be right here. So she is very famous because she is on all my shows, my guest appearances. Yep.
So
Well,
let's hear about those.
Speaking of live streaming and all the great stuff going on, you're really involved in that. But why don't we back up and let you tell everybody a little bit about you and what you're up to these days?
Okay, so my once upon a time story. Do you
There
guys
you
want to
go.
hear? Once upon a time, there was a woman who, her father was an entrepreneur. He had a real estate appraisal business and wanted me to come work for him because he wanted me to take it over. Aw, isn't that cute? So I tried. First off, my dad and I love him. We have a great relationship. We don't work well together. Second, real estate appraising just wasn't my thing, but I tried. And I also saw all my dad's struggles. So here's the nutshell. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Never say never. Right. So here I am in 2014 is when I took the jump. And again, it's not because I was like, man, I want to own my own business. It looks so great. I'm going to make 100,000 my first year. Let's jump in. It was because my mom got sick. She had Alzheimer's and I needed and wanted to be there for her caretaker and her voice. And a regular 9-to-5 job wasn't going to allow me the flexibility, to take care of her. So in 2014, I left my corporate job and launched True Career Coaching. I'm on my third business name, third website, third set of logos. So here's a piece of advice. If you guys think you're going to get it right off from the get-go perfect, just know that you're going to grow with your business and your website and your logos and all of that. If I could give one piece of advice, I would definitely work with a branding person earlier on than I did to help me understand what I wanted to get out to the world.
Well, I think that's true that we learn so much from people when we're willing to reach out, people that know more about things than we do. It's a huge help. Like when Scott and I started live streaming, we reached out to people who really knew what they were doing because he and I had almost no idea what we were doing. Well, I can only speak for myself. I had no idea what I was doing, but we we figured it out with help. So yeah.
But did you guys, like, I know when I started being a professional and just, I guess, probably being who I was then, because I'm a different version of myself now, I didn't want to ask for help because I thought that made me look stupid. But
Mhm.
I've had this complex. I'm the first person in my family to get 2 college degrees while working full time. And I'm proud of that. A certification, like I'm a lifelong learner, but even in college, like I just remember not feeling smart enough because someone was smarter than me. And that's just stupid.
Well,
So like, yeah.
here's the way to think about it, right? So reading instructions and asking for help, or getting help from someone, that's not being weak. That's like cheating.
Yeah, I wasn't a cheater either though. But
No, no,
no,
no,
that's
no.
it. You know, I'm just saying like people who are starting their business, or you might be 3 years in, but you might be at a crossroads where you want to do A, but you're not quite sure how to do that. So you need to reach out to someone who knows how to do that. And that's where the magic of LinkedIn comes in. I'm just going to give LinkedIn a
Mm,
plug. If
there
you
we
have
go.
built a strong network, you have people at your fingertips. So
Absolutely.
it's not about who's in your network right now today. Kind of is, but I want to say that, you know, if you're building a robust, diverse network full of interesting people that
Hmm.
do different things and some of what you do, then you're going to have people that you can reach out to as long as you've cultivated the relationships like we have, Russ.
Right, exactly. And speaking of networks and interesting people, we have Alan Borges is about to jump in with us. Alan, good morning. How's
Hey,
it
hey,
going?
hey. Good morning,
Howdy,
Alan.
y'all. Happy Year of the Reader.
You're the reader. All right. We dig that.
Well, we're so glad to have you with us, Alan, this morning. And for those people that don't know you and what you're all about, give us a little snapshot into Alan's life and what you're up to.
Well, my life is definitely a book full of interesting little twists and turns. I've been a community advocate since I was 12 years of age, doing a lot of different programs and stuff. For the last 10 years, I've been an author advocate where I created organizations to help authors, nonprofits to help in reading and writing programs, a museum for authors, plus so much more. But it's all about helping authors to succeed. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm about.
Well, that is incredible. I mean, you, I think originally got connected through Scott, right, Scott?
Yeah, because we were doing some Amazon Live for the authors that Alan works with. And so getting onto Amazon and letting the authors tell their story about the journey about writing the book and being published and kind of what that process is. And obviously to help sell the books, but also encourage other people that they have a story to tell.
Yeah,
Right.
each and every one of you has a story to tell. And it's amazing all the stories that are out there and all the stories we're losing because people aren't sharing what they've learned and how their experiences are and stuff. That's from the nonfiction aspect, but from the fiction aspect, there's so many creative ideas and things to think about. And it's just wonderful to be working with these people and to help them to succeed in that respect.
I love storytelling. If I could jump in. So Alan, I'm sure you and I could have like an in-depth conversation offline, but I think storytelling is so powerful. And I think that we're seeing that change, that people are getting out there and sharing their stories because they're seeing that it's helpful to other people to hear about their journeys, whether it's a struggle or a success or a pivot in a career or starting your own business or helping with Alzheimer's. You know, I've kind of become that sounding board. I was very vocal in sharing my story about my mom and going through Alzheimer's with her. There were several Facebook Lives, videos, posts, because I think people think that Alzheimer's is the disease where people forget things, which it is, but it's so much more serious than that. And I didn't even understand it until I went through it. So I shared my story probably as an outlet for myself, but really as an educational component to help other people understand what it really is and the dangers. Because my mom went missing one night and we were lucky that we found her with we had a SWAT team, K9, people on Facebook came out, people I didn't know were looking for my mom. And I feel that because I had that community built up, and I'd been sharing her story, right? That people were willing to jump out of bed at 9, 10 o'clock at night to help find her. So I think storytelling is huge. And I think we need to get over the fear of telling our stories. I think a lot of people are just scared to tell their stories. What will people think of me? This is a story where I was, angry, or I wasn't successful, or, whatever that story is. I think people on social media, we have this, what do I want to call it? Like,
it's the veneer,
filter,
right? Facade.
The veneer, like life is perfect. I'm rich, live streaming is a breeze. I look like this at 7 o'clock in the morning every day. Now, you all know, because I was jokingly, I sent you pictures of me like, I'll be ready on time, but I got to make this over. I had wet hair, no makeup on, because that's real. That's part of my story in the morning. Being a woman, I have to get ready to go on.
Yeah. It's
you mentioned earlier, Mary, if I may jump in here, it took you 3 times to get the right type of website and business name and all that. And that's really for anybody. If you are working hard on something and you fail, it's not about failing. It's what you learn from it and how you move forward. I failed in my business as a publisher. Even though I helped get 60 people published, I ended up having to file bankruptcy. But it moved me into learning other things that has now given me a 10-year career as an author advocate. So it's all about how you interpret the loss, the experience, and grow from it.
It's what you do with it. So we're all going to fail in life. If anybody thinks like you're going to start a diet, a workout routine, get married, even like there are failures every day in marriages. That doesn't mean you're going to get divorced. That just means you're going to work harder to figure out what is the right communication style, maybe with your spouse. What is the right workout program? What is the right business for you to be in? So I agree with you, Alan. Like, failure, I used to be afraid of failing. Now I'm like, bring it on, because the more I fail, the more I'm learning, the more I'm growing, So I think that society has put it in our head not to fail. And I think that that's changing. I think over the last couple of years, people are sharing failures. We're more open to talking about, businesses that have failed, or our marriage. Yeah, it failed. Well, what role did I have in that? Or I failed at, becoming a famous rock climber, or, my goal was to be an ice capade when I was 7. That just didn't quite work out for me. It's cold on the ice. I'm not a fan of the cold. So I love, failing is just an opportunity to learn more.
You're absolutely right.
You either win or you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you have to get past that aspect of sharing, being vulnerable to people and stuff. You'd be surprised the responses you get from that. Like I said, I failed in the publishing, ended up bankruptcy, ended up homeless for 5 years, living in a storage unit. But that 5 years of growth introduced me to a lot of people that helped me through that process in different ways. They didn't know I was homeless, but they still helped me through it and stuff. And it's all about taking it and growing with it. That's one of the projects I'm working with is a book called I'm Crazy Great, which illustrates it's a 2-sided aspect, because you're constantly learning. One side you're crazy, one side you're great, but you got to merge them together to be successful.
So Alan, you and I have something in common. I wasn't homeless for 5 years, but I did live in the back of a moving truck for like 4 or 5 days because I had nowhere to live. So I had to figure that out. And most people don't know that. Like, I don't think I've ever said that on live, but I lived in the back of this moving truck because I had to get all my stuff out of somewhere, and I literally had nowhere to go.
It's scary and challenging, but it's an experience. When you come out of it, it definitely has its lessons for you to grow from.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what's so important is the lessons we learn are what make us grow. Some of the most difficult, challenging times over this last couple of years with COVID and all the crazy things going on, we've been able to learn and grow so much. It's interesting. Both of you made me think of a couple of different things. Number one, our good friend Carl Sean Watkins is always talking about vulnerability, being willing to share the vulnerable side of you. And, it's important to be willing to do that because that helps so many people. Mary, you and I are similar in the fact that I think, my mom has Alzheimer's and my dad passed away from cancer and dementia. And so I've gone through this now, going through it for the second time. And daily I deal, my mom is in a memory care, but I still have to deal with the process in life for me, dealing with that whole situation. And it is something that has definitely not only impacted me, but when Scott first encouraged me to do podcasting years ago, and I had the first podcast was called Happy Moments with Mama. And I actually started doing interviews with my mom. And then I did little videos, and it really helped me. But what I found is it helped so many other people because they would see that, hear that, and they would reach out to me. And I'm like, wow, my mom is still able to bless and help other people through the struggles she's going through. So it's amazing.
That's why it's so important to share these stories, because people think I'm the only one. But also people think they have like this plain vanilla life. But when they start looking at their life, it's actually interesting and it's worth sharing.
Yeah. I think everybody has something interesting to share. So I've been called Bruce Carnahan's has nicknamed me the extractor of your stories, right? So because I believe when I work with my clients, the magic happens in the conversations. And they're like, well, I just do this. I'm just an accountant, or, I'm just a director of sales. It's nothing quite interesting or exciting. And then it's through the conversation. I'm like, well, how'd you get started? Tell me about this. And then we'll have like content for a month planned out because they have all these amazing stories, right, Scott, that they don't think is interesting.
Absolutely.
Or they don't know how to write them out.
I love it. Well, and Scott is good at, I think when I was writing my book, not only he and my beautiful wife were the two that really encouraged me to share stories as I was sharing the information in my book, because that compels people. The things that have happened to you and the situations in your life, using those as lessons that other people can, that help other people. And I just think that's so important. And I know where to go now, Mary. If I need somebody to extract stories from me, I'm just coming to you.
Right here.
Too.
Right here, guys. 15, 30-minute conversation. Usually with my clients, I always joke, they'll sign up, we'll be working together. And every time we meet, we have 3 pieces of content. Like in the first 30 minutes, I'm like, so what's going on with? Hey, that's a piece of content. What? Baseball team, little league, leadership? Yeah, that's all tied together. Let's So it's, working with other people through conversations is where you can learn, fail, extract stories, partner up. I just really believe in the power of cultivating relationships and having conversations.
And that's why everyone that's watching, I want to make sure you connect up with Mary, connect up with Alan, because as it says in my LinkedIn profile, the first line says, one conversation can change your life or your business. Connect up with Mary, connect up with Alan, have that conversation with Alan, right, Alan?
Yeah, we actually do our own show called the Indie Beacon Show for authors. And we do that. One question is, what got you into writing? And you'd be surprised by all the different answers that you get. But having that 30-minute period of just talking and letting them feel comfortable enough to share is so critical. And when they share up a ton of information that you'd be surprised about.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, what was his name? I think it's D. Scott Smith, is always talking about leaning into your network. And what I have found in my life, because I'm a huge networker, is that you can lean into your network when you need emotional support, when you need physical support, when you need financial support, when you need anything, people in your network that love and care for you. It's amazing how much that helps you because you've invested in them. And I think it's important. And then you all together get to live the experience of life and share your stories to help and grow together. And that's why, as I always say, we are better together. Right, Mary?
Yeah. So Russ, our buddy Russ Johns. And so we get together now that I'm in the same state as him. We met each other online And then I moved from California to Arizona, and I looked him up. I was like, "What? You live here?" I go, "You're like 20 minutes from me. We've got to meet up in person." So we started meeting up last year, every couple months for pizza and beer. Well, I need tech help, right? So I had some tech issues with a camera is not connecting to StreamYard. He came over to my house to help me try to get that all set up. That's the
Yeah.
power of cultivating your relationship. And remember, you guys, I was in California. He was in Arizona. You never know where you're going to be. If 2020 taught us anything, it was like change is coming and we don't know what it's going to be. We don't know what job we're going to be. Our business could pivot. People are moving like crazy. So build out that network and cultivate the relationships.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even with the whole COVID world and shutdown, and when I talk about networking or teach networking, the first thing I say is that you already have a remarkable network filled with people, remarkable people who want you to succeed. They just need to know what problem you solve and who your ideal customer is, or what is that need. So, Mary, that story is fabulous because it
I
you
couldn't
guys were
make it
already
up.
connected. He just needed to know,
I'm glad.
and
Yeah.
there it is. You're
Well,
solved.
I think
Solved the
what you
problem.
said,
Beautiful.
cultivating relationships too,
Mhm.
is really where it's at. And Scott, you're all about this too. You and I are both the reason we've been such good friends for so long. And that is, you don't just, when I tell people that I'm connecting with people, I told you this, Mary, and Alan, I tell everybody this. You're stuck with me. I'm your lifelong friend. I am a ongoing connection. To me is an ongoing relationship. It's not just, hey, good to see you. Take care. Good luck.
Right.
I mean, that is not true connection.
Yeah.
That is not true relationship. It takes the cultivating to make things good and grow. And, again, said it before, we're better together. We can work and grow and help each other in all that we're doing. And I know Scott and I learn every week from amazing people like you two
Right
how to
here.
be better.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the joy of life, because you never know who you're going to meet, and the learning experience that goes with it is always exciting and interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So, Alan, what's the most exciting story that you've heard in all of your helping authors and all that? I mean, what is the most exciting thing that you've heard that people have revealed to you through their storytelling?
Oh, it's hard to limit to just one. So what I'm going to do is mention the emails that I get from time to time. When somebody emails me and says, because I joined your group, I was able to get a movie deal, or I was able to, have 100,000 sales in my book and stuff because of the things they learned. Those are exciting things. And every so often I just get an email saying, you know what, I really appreciate all the hard work you do and stuff. And that's critical. It's that confirmation that even when I'm in a tough situation and I'm feeling kind of, I get that email and it's like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And, it really makes a difference. So in that respects, there are lots of stories that I'm told, and it's hard to pinpoint one that's better than another. But for me, overall, it's just knowing that people are succeeding. And that's the greatest story for me.
Right, right. Well, people are amazing. And speaking of amazing people, as we draw to a close, we have to wrap things up. I'm always the bad host. Scott's the good host. I'm the bad host. I have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, come on, Russ. Just a little more.
I am my tiny violin. There you go. We're going to go ladies first again. Mary, we want last word. Tell everybody what you want them to remember about you. And then how do they get in touch with you? Because everybody needs to reach out to you for sure.
I would love for you guys to remember that I'm a connector. I love connecting people, places, and things, and that I make LinkedIn fun. It doesn't have to be boring. So if you're that person going like, LinkedIn's just, too businessy for me, let's talk, because I'm going to extract your story and help you connect with the right people to cultivate opportunities. And then how to connect with me, definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. You're going to have to follow me because I have my LinkedIn account on lockdown. So here's how you can connect with me. hello@maryfainbrandt.com. That's the secret that you need. You need my email, and let's have a conversation.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much again. And Alan, you're up.
I have too many websites to mention, so I'll just mention the one. Authorsmarketing.org. You can reach out to me through that. If you're an author and you really want to have that opportunity to succeed, we're here to help you. So just reach out, tell us what you need or questions you may have on getting your book done, especially for the business people who are looking to take what they know and put it into a book form. We have connections that can help you with that as well. But as an author advocate, I'm here to help. We're working on a lot of programs and opportunities to help authors succeed.
Hey, Alan, it's interesting because I talked to Scott about this. We should talk after the show, but our wonderful sponsor, the Gillette Home Team, and Laura Gillette, who's an amazing friend, put me in touch with a young author in Texas. I had her on one of my live shows. She has a couple things that I think both of you and Scott can help her with. So let's talk after about that, because I love helping young authors. She's an amazing writer, wrote a kid's book that was great. And so, yeah, let's talk after about that. So appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to let the two of you go as Scott and I wrap up. So hang tight in the green room and we'll see you in a minute.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, Scott.
Another fabulous show on The Experience.
Yes. Well, I'm just always thankful to be here with you.
Russ, what a great friend. I appreciate that we get to do this each week. I miss those when we were on the little replay time during the holidays. I miss getting together and hanging out with my friend.
Yeah. Well, it is because, when I say it, I mean it. We're better together. And I am much, much better because of you, because all that you poured into my life. And so I appreciate that. And, hey, we move forward together doing some incredible things like the mastermind we have around live streaming. Just to remind everybody, starts the first week of February on Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can sign up for that now and get in. We're going to have both novice and veteran live streamers. You can learn and grow and communicate and do great things together because we are better together.
We are better together. And I'll just tell a quick story. So Jolie is the lady that cuts my hair. And talk about people that think they just have a plain vanilla life and maybe nothing really to share. So as she was cutting my hair, we were talking about travel. And we both like to travel. And I asked her, where did you want to go? And she was like, oh, Europe. Well, as we narrowed it down, it wasn't just Europe and it wasn't just France. It was a very specific area in France because her mother, when she was a little girl, had gone to France, to this place where there's catacombs, because her father, which was Jolie's grandfather, loved history. And so they were there. And so it's Jolie's mother as a little girl and her sister are there with their parents. And so they're touring through these catacombs and they decide, the girls are a little fussy, so mom's going to take them out. And the father stayed in. This is Jolie's grandfather. Well, he fell in the catacombs and was killed. And so she didn't want to just go to travel just to go to France. She wanted to actually take her mom back to this spot because it's such an important part of her life. And I said, what an amazing story. And to please share that with people. And I said, if you tell your friends and family that you want to do this, take your mom there, look, they lean into your network. They will care for your son. In fact, I bet they'll help you raise money to take your mom just because this is such an interesting story. And please don't miss telling those stories, whether it's in book form, like contacting Alan, or getting on a show and being a guest on a show, or having your own live streaming show and help people share these interesting stories.
Yeah, it's amazing because a good friend of ours who's going to be part of all this too, Tim Sohn, shared his cancer story, and look what an impact he's had on others that are dealing with cancer. And it brings people out. You might talk about my dad's passing away from cancer, a lot of people, and it helps each other
Mhm.
through the experience. So, hey, I
Yeah.
wanted to remind you, plus the experience is every Wednesday, like today, at
Mhm.
7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every week. So don't forget, Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can join us with amazing guests like Alan and Mary today, and
Mhm.
we will help bring them to you to make you better, to make you more knowledgeable about things, and just to help you in the experience of life. So we just appreciate everybody today. There's one thing that I didn't do because, we love doing this and it gets me so excited. We had to bring Kermit in to wrap up the show. So we love Kermit. So listen, hey, thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. Until we see you again, have a great day and a great life, and
enjoy the experience.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.